Alright, yo guys, what's up? As you can clearly tell, my voice sucks. This is my headset that I literally just had yesterday. It broke, and I have to use a worse headset. So, oof, this is gonna be how it sounds for a while, which kind of sucks. But we can get past that. I'm pretty sure. Oh jeez, I need to get a new one. But yeah, so dang, man, this is actually a long one as well. Alright, yeah, okay, screw it. So this is, of course, Venom Part 5. Like, what if Deku had Venom? And I honestly don't remember where I left off. Sports Festival. Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, so I guess we could just get into it, even with this crap headset. But alright, no. Okay, let me actually do it. It's gonna be kind of a long one. So I'm gonna say after like the top three places for the festival are done, All Might quickly takes Deku somewhere quiet. That sounds really bad. I'm gonna just keep on going with it. Oh jeez. Okay, so when they pass, when they make it past the interviewers, All Might starts to like yell at Deku, and he says like, why did you brutally beat Bakugo? It doesn't make any sense. So Deku just like stayed stood there with a blank face, like waiting for All Might to finish. So, All Might finishes, and Deku's response was, I could have killed him. Like, he just plain out says it. So All Might just stood there and thought in his head, like, why did I give him one for all? So, Deku told All Might he won't do it again, but he only did it because of a personal grudge against Bakugo. So, it's the same as he did with him. What am I talking? Yeah, so, I'm sorry, guys. After Deku said like that, After Deku said that, All Might sat down and sighed, like saying maybe Deku is too powerful for his own good. This is gonna be a long one, but I'm gonna say the next day, it was Saturday, so like there was no school, and Deku woke up and looked at his phone to like see the news, and the front page was Deku destroying Bakugo. So Venom's head appeared out of Deku's shoulder, and he said, "That's not a good image for him, is it?" So Deku said, "Nah, like it really isn't, but it is what it is." So then Venom says Earth is like pretty boring, and he thought it would be like more dramatic and chaotic, but because like of all the powers, but clearly it's not. So Deku thought about it and agreed that like he did Venom did come here for like did come here from a different planet, and he's forced to stay attached to him for like or he'll die. So that's kind of rough, but then Venom says like he can't be asked and he's gonna sleep for a while, so like don't try and wake him, and went back into Deku. So Deku looked back at his phone and thought about like what happened yesterday with the festival. So he laughed at the thought of him nearly killing Bakio, and like taking out all the heroes all at once on TV. Like Deku was destroying everyone. I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. He just destroyed everyone. So then he gets up and gets dressed, and when he gets dressed, he heads out and decides to work on his full cal and percentage of one for all. So as he's walking to the woods, like he remembers about telling Uraka that he'll help her on her fighting abilities. So he looks at the time, and it's 10:25 in the morning. So he decided to text her asking like if she wants to do that training he promised. I gotta take my water. Maybe it may be a new mic, but I still have to drink my water. So, oh jeez. But yeah. So she responded within a minute, saying yeah, and like where will it be at? He gives her the location, and they meet at the woods. So Deku sees her and calls her over, and Uraka like asks like Like, why here of all places? And Deku said, like, it's because he can actually use his quirk with no one telling him to stop. And, she nods, agreeing with him. And Deku said, like, they should go ahead and, like, get started. Because, she wasn't expecting it. So, an hour goes by. I'm saying, Deku taught her basically everything that she learned in canon by Gunhead. Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Gunhead. So, Deku was working on his One for All training, while also helping out Uraraka. Then he told her to, like, go all out to attack him. And she does, and, like, tries to attack him. And she tried for about 10 minutes, I'm gonna say. And, after the 10 minutes was up, she fell back onto the ground, and Deku just stood there. So, she was struggling to, like, say she was, like, nowhere near to beating him. And Deku said, like, he'd even drop a sweat the entire time. So, then he said, like, he was sort of surprised that she was as stubborn as he was when it came to challenges. Because Deku already knew, like, if other people did that, they would give up really fast. So, now, that's where it was. She left and sat up looking at a tree that had, like, a huge, like, hole in it, not while they were training. So clear that hole was from before. It was made by Deku. And she asked Deku, like, if she could ask him a question. And Deku looked at her, and said sure. And she asked him, like, how was he like before UN? So Deku got confused, but she said that, sorry, she said that whenever Bakio tries to fight with him, he always says, like, how Deku was always weak and he'll always be a loser even if he got a quirk out of nowhere. So Deku thought about it and says Bakio is just an idiot and doesn't like me being ahead of him. So she replies by saying, like, she kind of knew that already, but, like, she wants to know why he says that. And he said, like, I don't want to say too much, but I only got this quirk a little before you. And she says, like, that's kind of like, oh, late to get a quirk. And Deku says, like, that's just how it went. And then she thinks about it and asks, like, what's his quirk? Deku just looked at her again and said, like, I think it's time to head back, like, walking into the entrance of the woods, because he ain't trying to answer none of those questions. So Uraraka Uraraka gets up and, like, chases him, and then says, like, sorry for asking so much, like, so many questions. And Deku said, like, it's fine, you're not one of them, so I'm cool with you. And she turns red, and Deku continues to, like, keep walking. And she says thanks, and the day ends. So I just want to put that in. Actually, let me see some. All right, I'm good. I just needed to, like, check to see if this headset was even working, because it does suck. But yeah, so I'm gonna continue on. So school starts up again, and everyone goes to school. So as Deku's walking to class, he's talking with Venom about how Bakio is gonna try and attack him as soon as he walks in. So Venom says, like, even if he does, Deku can, like, nearly kill him and then heal him before he even dies. So Deku just pulls his hand out of his pockets and then says, like, he made like a not so serious problem, like, promise with All Might, saying, like, he won't kill him though. And then Venom, like, told Deku he's getting too comfortable with, like, talking to himself in public. So Deku looks around and sees students looking at him, like, crazy, like, and he has his hood on, but people can, like, tell that Deku wants them to leave, so they do. And I would say the only reason why they do is because everyone's, of course, scared of Deku after they seen him beat up Bakugo, and as well as, like, moving away all the teachers. So yeah. um yeah, he continues to walk and whispers, saying that he ought to control that habit. So Deku walks into class, and Bakio instantly throws, like, his hand forward and lands an explosion on, like, at Deku. So everyone looks and yells, like saying, why did you just do that? Like, why you do that? And Bakugo tells them to like all shut up and go to hell. So the smoke clears like 3 seconds later, and Deku is like seen standing, not even phased. Like his hoodie is like all torn up though. So Deku just like shows a blank expression and looks down, then looks back up at Bakugo saying like pay up right now. So Bakugo just grunts his teeth and then tells Deku to die. But Deku tells Bakugo to pay up for the hoodie again, and Bakugo continues to backtalk to Deku. So I'm gonna say, yeah. So Uraku goes up to Deku and like tells him to calm down, like don't do this. So he looks at her in sighs. Then he looks at Baku again, saying like to just stay out of his way, or it'll just end up like the festival. So Deku like walks back to his seat, to like his desk, and Uraku goes back to hers as well. With all the girls saying like, so what was that about? And she instantly turns red and covers her face. So Venom says to Deku like like that he better not let that girl become a weakness. But Deku said like nah, like he won't. But it is like an easier way to get rid of Bakugo. So Azawa walks in later and tells the class that internships are starting up. So the class gets excited about like thinking about who they're gonna go with. But then Aizawa like tells them to shut up because they're doing names as well. And Midnight comes in and does her speech about hero names, and when she finishes, everyone gives their hero names. And I'm gonna say, yeah, it's Deku's turn to go up. So before like he did go up, I'm gonna say Venom told Deku to use his name, and he asked why, but he said like because we are Venom, like yo, we're Venom. Just use Venom. So Deku said all right and said that his name is Venom. And Midnight was 100% with the name, and everyone else thought it went pretty hard. So it was allowed. So after the names were done, everyone had to pick their interns, and Deku like had the most. Three. I'm gonna say he had like three more than Todoroki. But Deku agreed through all of his and thought like that these are all kind of pointless. Like yo, like Venom chimed in and said if he went to those, he'll end up having to teach them instead. So Rezoba said like that when they're done choosing, they can leave the class. So while Deku was still thinking, he seen Ida have like an angry expression, and it made him a bit interested because I'm gonna say Deku didn't know about Ida. Like he hasn't spoken with him a word through this series. I'm pretty sure. So, you know, of course he gets interested. So Deku told Venom to like check out who he's applying for, and he does. So when Venom comes back, Deku circles the name and walks out. And everyone was curious about who Deku picked, but really he chose the worst one. Like let's be honest, like yeah, he chose the worst one. So the next day, internship started up, and I'm gonna say everyone split up, but Ida was confused on why Deku was there, and when he asked Deku, like, told him to just pretend like he's not there, kind of laughing a bit, and they make it, and like the dude says, he is like he's so confused on why they're both there, like mainly Deku. So Deku said like yeah sure, and they were being like toured around the area. So Deku already knew like why Ida was mad now because he did do his research. Like he was like okay why is he mad before like I fully go. So he finds out that his brother was attacked by Stain. So yeah he doesn't really care that much. He just wanted to know why. So really he only finds it interesting that he chose the same location where the attack was by Stain. And time passes along, and Deku sighs, saying like, "This is so boring, like nothing's happening." So Venom says like he thought this would be like more interesting, but I guess not. But Deku thinks about swinging off, but then like hears a loud explosion coming from the other direction. So then he sees like Ida taking off in the other one, like the other direction, and Deku just throws a clone of himself and runs after Ida. Like he throws the symbiote to like help out the other heroes, but he wants to see what the main story is. So Deku makes it to a rooftop and sits down looking at a bird's eye view of the situation. So basically, Ida starts to get beaten up, and then like Stain stabs Ida in the shoulder, of course, and then that's when Deku finally decides like it's time to come in. Like even though he doesn't care, he might as well do something. So Deku like he drops down and sends out two symbiotes to take Ida and oh shoot, we did stuff. But yeah, so he sent two symbiotes to take Ida and Native away. I'm pretty sure that's his name. But Ida screams saying like let go of him, but Deku says to like shut up, making the symbiote cover his mouth. So Stain recognizes Deku and questions like why is he here? And Deku counters the question by asking like what are his intentions? I gotta take another drink of water for some reason. So what are your interests? Yeah, your intentions. So Stain laughs and goes ahead to explain his plans, and I'm gonna say Deku leans on a wall and nods, saying that it's like it's good logic, but getting rid of fake heroes. But maybe he should like get rid of the killing part. So Stain says nah and tries to slice Deku, but when the blade hits him, it breaks into multiple pieces, like shattering. So Stain gets confused and Deku gets off the wall, saying like, how would he like it if he was the one who got killed instead? So then he starts to form into Venom, having like a large grin and crazy eyes, of course, like the screen or the picture. So Stain backs up, like saying like, what is he? Then they say, of course, we are Venom. So Venom just grabs Stain and picks him up, asking like, why doesn't he just take the good ideas? And Stain tries to get down, but Venom just won't budge. Like he even tries to bite through Venom to like paralyze him, but he doesn't. Like it doesn't work at all. So then Venom says like, what wasted potential, burning him alive and eating him piece by piece, like making the meal last. So yeah, I would just leave it at that. It's great. So the day ends, and it's now like the last day of the internship. I should probably say something. No one knows about Deku versus Stain. Probably Ida, because I'm gonna say Native. He was unconscious, but yeah. So I'm gonna say in this one, no one knows about Stain and Deku. So yeah. So Ida was at the hospital, and Deku decided to show up. So when Deku walked in through the door, Ida like started to yell at Deku, saying like, "Why did he show up?" And Deku said like, if he doesn't shut up, he will make sure he actually finishes the job that Stain almost did. And Ida like seen Deku's plain expression and faded eyes, of course, and instantly like shut up. So Deku said like he's never had a problem with him, and honestly doesn't care about him. But why go after Stain? Like that's the dumbest thing ever. So Ida said like it was for justice, and Deku like shook his head, saying no, it was for vengeance, something that a rip-off Sonic isn't supposed to do. So that got to Ida, and he stood up and was about to like attack Deku, but of course Blank Chains grabbed onto Ida, and Deku said like you should know like what happens whenever someone gets caught by these chains. So Ida remembers Bakugo and Todoroki getting caught by the chains and getting brutally beaten, and Deku just then says like, next time, don't be an idiot, and also like don't say a word about what happened. So, then he releases the chains, and Ida fell to the ground, with Deku, like, opening the door, leaving Ida struggling to get up. So, all Ida's seen before Deku left was him smiling and licking his lips, because everything just worked out for Deku. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Deku made it out of the hospital and thought about, like, what Stain was aiming for. He said it was a reasonable outlook, but was just performed by the wrong guy. Like, he's like second guessing himself on if he should have killed Stain or not. Like, he was thinking, man, maybe I should have let him off with a warning instead. Like, I kind of wish I kind of seen, like, how it worked out. But Venom then said, like, we can do it instead. But Deku said, nah, only because, like, technically we're not the best so-called heroes, like, either. Plus, I'm pretty sure, like, we would kill as well. So, you know, like, we may get the job done, but really, like, now they're just there for the drama and little stories that play out. So, Venom agrees with it and says, like, now they're gonna have to wait again for the next little story to happen. So, basically, Deku and Venom, they're just psychos. Like, yeah, I don't know. Let me see how long this is. Actually, I need to see how long this is. All right, so I don't know. Do I want to continue this? I don't know. I'm really thinking because I think the video is long enough. I'll yeah, okay, I'll leave it off because I don't think I have enough energy to, like, continue this. Plus, this headset is, like, I'm listening to it, like, back at the footage, and I'm like, dang, bro, like, I'm really about to upload this low quality video. But, jeez. But yeah, so, of course, like, at this point, I'm pretty sure Venom and Deku, they're just psychopaths. Like, they don't care. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it off there. If you guys liked it, let me know. I'm sorry about the mic. I swear, I wasn't planning for that to happen. Of course, the day I come back, it works, but then it instantly breaks right after. So, it is what it is. Yeah. So make sure you guys have a good one, and MILKGANG out.